Welcome to my presentation. My name is Tina Dixon and I'm doing a presentation on Conoco Philips, an integrated energy company. Hi, and welcome to my presentation. My name is Tina Dixon and I'm doing a presentation on Conoco Philips, an integrated energy company. Oil companies get a bad rap when there's an oil spill or gasoline prices go up. However, the way the global economy works, and the American economy in particular, we are all dependent on oil and energy to warm our homes, provide gas for our cars, and electricity. Conoco Philips creates more than just fuel for cars. It also has fuel for trains, planes, ships, automobiles, buses, tractors. They have 3 branded gas stations, the Philips 66, the 76, and Conoco. The industry is the petroleum refinery, and in 2010 on the Forbes Fortune 500 list, Conoco Philips ranked 6th largest overall and ranked 3rd largest in the petroleum energy. But there's quite a difference between the 1st and the 3rd. Conoco Philips had half the profit of ExxonMobil, which was ranked number 1. With 19 refineries worldwide, Conoco Philips is the 5th largest oil refiner. Exploration and production is their primary focus, but they have 5 segments to the company. Exploration and production explores for, produces, transports, and markets crude oil, natural gas, liquid natural gas globally. The midstream section takes care of all things that are related to natural gas, including gathering, processing, fractionating, and marketing natural gas liquids. Refining and marketing is the section that works on purchasing, refining, transporting, and marketing crude oil and petroleum products. The emerging business section oversees Conoco Philips investments in new technologies and businesses. The 5th segment is the chemical segment. The chemical segment was spun off in the year 2000 to form a new company with Chevron that also spun off its chemical division. The new company is called Chevron Phillips Chemical Company. Because Chevron and Phillips each own 50% of the new company, they flipped a coin to decide which name would come first. This new company is the top world producer of olefins, aromatics, styrenes, specialty chemicals, piping, and proprietary plastics. They also produce over 70,000 consumer goods and industrial products, including recyclable plastic containers for food, for packaging, materials such as carpeting and road underlayment, tires, PVC piping, candles, and kerosene. The main offices for Conoco Philips are in Houston, Texas. The drilling and refineries, though, are worldwide, including North and South America, Europe, the Middle East, India, Africa, and Asia. In Alaska, for instance, they have a natural gas refinery that's been there for over 40 years. And recently, in 2007, they acquired all of Arco's oil production in Alaska, expanding their footprint to the west coast. In Norway, they have new integrated technologies and computers that save money and improve environmental impact for on and offshore wells in the North Sea. In China, in 2009, they started drilling in China's largest offshore oil field. This is a project that's been 10 years in the making as a joint venture with China National Offshore Oil Company. James Mova has been the CEO of Conoco Philips since 1999. He earned his master's in business from University of Texas, a state school, in 1969 and went right into the Navy. While stationed in Bahrain in the Navy, he became interested in the finances of energy companies, especially oil. He joined Conoco after being in the Navy in the early 70s. He was quickly promoted to Vice President of the European African segment in the 80s. Long-term security and assets increased by his understanding of the global marketplace and finance. He became CEO in 1999, and after the merger of Conoco and Philips, he remained on as the CEO. James Mulva, in a recent interview, said there's 3 keys to success of Conoco Philips: save money wherever possible, reduce capital spending, and maintain a level of transparency on all business decisions. Revenues have increased from $75 million in 1999 when he took over to $1.98 billion in 2010. And for his work, James Mulva received a total compensation package of shares, stock, and benefits in 2010 of $11.26 million. The history of Conoco Philips involves 2 companies. Conoco started in 1875 in Utah, mostly dealing with kerosene for kerosene lamps. In 1929 it was taken over and the name was changed to Continental Oil Company, Conoco for short. In 1982 the world economy was in a slump and Conoco had precarious financials, was in a position to be taken over. To avoid the takeover, they became a wholly owned subsidiary of DuPont, which had deep pockets to stabilize their finances, and they continued to expand worldwide through the 80s and 90s. In 1998, Conoco became an independent company again. Philips Oil Company began in 1917 with high-performance fuels and innovative lubricants. They tested their cars on Route 66 and were the first manufacturer of gasoline, high-octane gasoline, to get a car to go over 60 miles an hour. The Route 66 sign is still used on their gas stations today. And they were the first company to come up with a multi-weight car oil like 1040 and 1030 that can be used in a car year-round. In 1967, Philips acquired Texaco and had, at that point, a gas station in every state in the Union. In 2000, they acquired Union 76 and changed the name to the 76 for the 76 gas stations. In 2002, Conoco and Philips merged together to become the 3rd largest energy company. Environmentally, Conoco Philips has instituted high safety standards and regular safety inspections after there was an explosion in Pasadena, Texas, where lives were lost. In the area of coal burning, there's a lot of carbon dioxide given off, and they've instituted a program of carbon capture where the carbon dioxide is captured and stored underground where it doesn't affect global warming. Flaring is a process where excess natural gas is burned off, usually in the field or in areas where they don't have the infrastructure to capture the natural gas. And Conoco Philips has been able to reduce flaring by 16%, so that also reduces the released carbon dioxide into the air. In 2008, they won an award for reduction in methane releases. Methane is 20 times more toxic to the environment. It increases the greenhouse effect 20 times more than carbon dioxide. Conoco Philips has investments in clean air energy alternatives in the areas of wind energy, solar energy, ethanol made from grain, and biodiesel. Reuters reported on March 25th of this year that Conoco Philips plans to selectively exit several countries, including Libya, Nigeria, Algeria, Kazakhstan, and Vietnam. They have low producing assets in these countries and they're selling them off to restructure the company and maintain their focus on exploration and production. Stock prices rose on this news. Speaking of stocks, they have a good return to investors. Between 1998 and 2008, the average return was 12% annually. In the last year alone, prices have risen by over $30, going from $48.06 to $81.39. For investors, it's a good bet. In 2010, the revenue was $1.98 billion with 30,000 full-time employees. Conoco Philips has 58,600 shareholders, and their dividend yield is 2.87. Their price-to-earnings ratio is 10.5, which is much better than any of the tech stocks. Conoco Philips is an integrated oil and energy company, and as long as we like to drive, fly, or boat, this will be the company for us. Thank you for listening. Tina Dixon, signing off.